I just wanted to share and proclaim really God's faithfulness to us, how he's been so faithful. And I'm reminded of the scripture from Psalm 107, which says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His faithful love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord," that's us, "proclaim that he has redeemed them from the power of the foe." And I remember God did that with me. I was wandering far from him, really. I don't know what I was doing. I was being stupid. But, he redeemed me from the power of the foe back in lockdown, revived me. And then we had this stirring that Simon mentioned about doing the church plant. And really, I just want to testify about God's faithfulness and the power of prayer, because we started with a dozen or so of us. And we prayed for a stirring, for more to come. God was faithful. And there was more. More people started joining us and praying. We prayed for somewhere to meet. We didn't know where we were going to meet. And God helped us to find St. John's Centre. Great facilities. It was on a main road. God was faithful. We prayed that we would have enough people with the right gifts for serving. There's all sorts of things that need doing in the church, isn't there? Someone to put the chairs out, somebody to do the singing and the leading, someone to do the drinks and the hospitality. And we were praying, Lord, give us enough people so that we can minister. And he did. He was faithful. And we had that fire, didn't we, at St. John's Centre? And for a while we were feeling homeless. Everything was unstable. Everything was up in the air. We didn't know what the Lord was doing or what was going on. And we'd been praying to get into the schools in this area. And what did God do? God planted the church in a school. He did more than what we could ask or imagine for. God was faithful. And we've had internal frictions and things that, like Simon's mentioned, but whenever we've prayed about them and for people, peace and reconciliation have always come. God has been faithful. And I've seen prayers answered in people's individual lives in the church, people being healed, people being unemployed, finding jobs, people needing to change jobs, people being lonely, finding friends, people who are hungry, being fed. God has been faithful. And it's not just us sitting back, though, and him just doing everything. It's because we've been praying. And that's why prayer is so important. And in that Psalm 107, I'll just leave you with this verse. It says, there's a lot of people in distress and in trouble through Psalm 107. But the one thing it said over and over again was, then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out of their distress. And I've seen God do that so many times for us at Hope Church. Every time we've had an issue or an obstacle or a problem, we've cried out to the Lord in our distress, and he's brought us through it. So God is faithful, and he'll continue to be faithful. We were singing in that song, Faithful One, so unchanging. You're my rock of peace. And that's who he is. So that's just what I just want to testify to today. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. God is faithful, and he redeems us from the power of the foe.